What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Arman Tsarukyan hits back as podcaster accuses him of being afraid of Islam Makhachev. Pulling out of his UFC 311 title fight against Islam Makhachev had serious repercussions for Arman Tsarukyan's MMA career. Not only did it put him on thin ice with the promotion, but even podcasters have begun calling him out to his face. At UFC 311, Tsarukyan dropped out of his lightweight title fight, citing a back injury, forcing Dana White and the promotional brass to scramble to slot in Renato Moicano for the headlining clash against Islam Makhachev. Interestingly, not everyone bought Tsarukyan's injury claim, with some believing it was a weight-cutting issue, while others felt Arman was afraid of the Sambo Maestro. How am I afraid of Islam if I fought him on short notice at 22 years of age versus Islam, who had the experience of 6-7 fights in the UFC, and Khabib Nurmagomedov's teammate, and show up before 2 weeks? They called me before 2 or 3 weeks. I showed up, made my weight, and fought with him. It was a pretty close fight. How can I be afraid now? I have been preparing for 6 years for that rematch. How can I be afraid? Even if I lose, I would show a good fight and make money and make my name bigger. Michael Bisping approves of Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. Michael Bisping thinks Jorge Masvidal would be the perfect comeback opponent for Conor McGregor. It looks like we might be getting Conor McGregor versus the one and only Jorge Masvidal at the White House, potentially. If you ask me, that actually makes a lot of sense. McGregor, who hasn't fought since July 2021, has been linked to a matchup against Michael Chandler for years now, after the pair filmed Season 31 of The Ultimate Fighter. They were even booked to fight at UFC 303 in June 2023, but McGregor withdrew after breaking his pinky toe. But with UFC CEO Dana White recently revealing that the promotion has moved on from the idea of McGregor versus Chandler, Bisping says Masvidal would be a sensational matchup for the Notorious. Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal makes all the sense in the world because for McGregor coming back, he's the big star. They want him to win. Simple as that. They do. The sport of mixed martial arts is a better place with stars like Conor McGregor involved. The White House, being the magnitude of the event, it sells itself. It doesn't need Conor McGregor. It doesn't need John Jones or Alex Pereira. But because it is the White House, they want to put on a spectacular event. Masvidal is entertaining. Conor McGregor is entertaining. The two of them are going to stand there and go toe-to-toe. Justin Gaethje comes clean about biggest mistake he made in the Max Holloway fight. Justin Gaethje's worst loss in MMA arguably came at UFC 300 against Max Holloway. According to the highlight, it was the wrong mindset heading into the fight that cost him under the bright lights of T-Mobile Arena. At the iconic pay-per-view event, Justin was largely dominated by the former featherweight champion over 5 rounds. Not only that, Blessed knocked him out cold with 1 second left on the clock, producing one of the most memorable finishes in the history of the sport. The biggest mistake for me was looking at it as a spectacle fight or a fight that was for fun and not understanding or recognizing the danger that I was in. I didn't get to go to my primal competitive nature. When you go to a primal place, you're not there. You're not retaining information. I remember his face. I've never seen an opponent's face. It happened in the preparation. There were a lot of mistakes made in my mind. I had the wrong mindset going into that fight. It was a huge mistake, and that's why I want to fight him again.